YouTube, we're back at it. Today was the first trade of the week. Today was Thursday. I didn't trade. Pretty much took Monday off, even though there was a decent setup. Tuesday and Wednesday, nothing formed for my setup. So pretty much just stay patient going into this week. But today was a banger. You can see I ended up making 483 across three fundeds. You guys can see that right there, and also passed two evaluation accounts. So I got two fresh 50Ks right here. So that'll be cool going into tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to trade. If not, totally fine. But I'm pretty much going to be going over what I saw going into today. So pretty much going to start on like a top to bottom analysis. So pretty much looks like we are possibly going to close within this candle's range on ES. Therefore, this previous week low will, holy shit, will end up being the draw liquidity. That is a weekly fair value gap. From there, probably dig down a little bit more, touch equilibrium, or it could honestly come back down here. So we'll see. Obviously, we're not predictors. We're just reactors in this case scenario. So we're just watching. So pretty much that's the weekly, the daily. Right, this is very important. Daily, you can see no fair value gaps here, but we are inside this daily fair value gap. So that's literally the only reasoning I had today to possibly do longs, but for the most part, didn't want to see it. We also closed within this range, so I don't know. I'm pretty bearish till these lows, honestly. The 4 hour has a better story. I know it's a little dirty. Let me just, yeah. So 4 hour obviously bearish, right? We inverse this 4 hour and inverse this 4 hour. So pretty much going in at 10 a.m. you would want to be bullish. I mean bearish, my bad. The only reason why I didn't feel comfortable taking longs is it didn't make sense, right? Nothing about this made sense, right? We're not bouncing off a 1 hour or higher PD rate. The only thing sponsoring this move up is the fact that we're in discount, right? And pretty much for reversals, right? If we are to inverse all these, 1 hour, 4 hours, I'm going to need a lot of confidence to be able to, take longs here. So pretty much what I was looking for, right, I wanted to see how this candle closed, right? 9 and then 10. If we're to be bullish, right, we would need some confluence, right? If everything is shown bearish, we would need a confluence to be bullish. And what I need at least is literally a sweep of this 9 p.m. low or 9 a.m. low, which we never had. We just pretty much pumped going into 10 a.m. So pretty much when we did that, or let me just do the outlook going into the morning. So we're respecting this 1 hour, right? Or we have an unfilled 1 hour. So I was pretty much a little bullish until here. I wanted to take longs in here. Never had my entry form. So ended up coming back down or up here. And then we did end up coming into the small, or I guess this was a 15-minute fair value gap. Or I guess we just created S&T. Cool. So yeah, going into the morning, I'll show you guys what I saw. Let's see what I sent in the Discord right here. Let's go to Outlooks. Send Outlooks every morning. I said mixed bias for today. I was pretty much wanting to see how we reacted off this 1 hour, because we are still. Oh, this is before we inverse all that. So, yeah. So, yeah, cool. So that's that. So pretty much after this is before we inverse all those hours. So pretty much I'm bearish, right? And what I was looking at here is that we have this breaker, right? We have a sweep of this high, right? So this becomes your breaker. So when I was looking for shorts, I was like, okay, I want to see how we react in here, because for my model, it's honestly this is not even a good short because we have unfilled 1 hour above, right? So that's pretty much the reasoning why this didn't work. But regardless, I would have to see some sort of S&T in here, so I didn't take any trades in here, and pretty much ended up running to this 1 hour. Pretty much what I was looking for is I don't get my 5-minute or 3-minute breaker until right here. Oh wait, I was about to say that was missed that. But I don't get my 3-minute breaker until all the way up here, right? So at that point, the RR is pretty much off, because we also have a no wick here, but the RR is just completely off. I mean, It just doesn't make sense why to take this trade. Like, this is the entry right here, but we already tapped this 1 hour, so like there's no point. Then what I was looking at is if we didn't tap it on ES, right, this down move can possibly push up here. So you could, like, this is my model right here. But I want to be more bearish today, right? And I pretty much got off after this anyways. So this becomes your breaker, right? Understanding that this move was not sponsored by an SMT. So now when you're looking for this, you need to see SMT inside the breaker, which we pretty much have. We end up taking out this low, but this is the first presented, right? You would ideally want to see some sort of retracement in here. It's also equilibrium, even better. So right now we have, right, this is ideally where you would want to enter, because we already have the SMT here. So ideally you just want to enter right here. Your stop loss will pretty much be right here, or pretty much right when we sweep out this low, you could enter somewhere in here, right? Maybe like a 1 minute CISD. This is what I'm gonna eventually get into when I start getting a few payouts. It's pretty much this. So we have the 1 minute CISD. Pretty much can just go long here, stop loss probably low here, and then pretty much target that. So nice little 1.65, or you could just anticipate SMT forming. So you could pretty much have some sort of long position here, stop loss here, and target here, right? 2R. So that's a good trade that we saw going into the day. But like I said, we're more bearish going into the day, and there's higher probabilities of, you know, bearish scenarios playing out. So pretty much got off during the afternoon. Pretty much what I was looking for, I was sending it to my friend Roman, is obviously like I just identify breakers, right? So this is your breaker, right? It's the down move before the up move, and we end up creating SMT up here, right? Sweep, so lower low, higher high, sweeping this, and now what I want to see is a 5 minute candle closure below here, right? Also noticing that we're still respecting this 1 hour, right? ES is the most bearish pair. We also close within this 10 a.m. candle, right? So I'm expecting price to distribute down going into 12 p.m. Also understand that it didn't make sense why we pumped off here. It just didn't make sense in my case. So I was bearish for the rest of the day. I wanted to see here, possibly here, but I'm most confident here at least. So yeah, I'm pretty much looking for a 5 minute candle closure, which we had right here. Right, so right when this price closed, now I'm looking for, you can see we have the breaker on here as well, right? Both assets had a 5 minute candle closure below. So now we're just marking out, I primarily just look for at least a 3 minute or a 5 minute, 3, 4, 5 minute. The bigger the better, honestly, because the bigger the time frame for everybody got, the more displacement. So, right, this is your breaker. Nice 3 minute in here. So if I were to enter in here, this is also overlapping with the first presented fair value gap, which is even better. So pretty much would enter here, stop loss here. I was gonna wait for a reaction just because here pretty much just went through it. So I was a little hesitant. I don't really trade PM like that. Usually I have limit set, but we were just chopping in. And I was pretty confident in this draw. It's just PM session. I don't really trade it too much. So I was a little hesitant, which is all right. So pretty much entered. Pretty much my fill is like right here. So kind of just brings this RR down to, I think it was like a 1.8. So yeah, pretty much you'd enter somewhere in this 3 minute. What's even better that I didn't realize until earlier is that if you were to enter on NQ, right, if you were to enter, you know, probably in this 5 minute, which is even better, or if you just delete this so you guys can see it, or this is their 5 minute. So I'm telling you, the RR is actually insane. Like here, stop loss really should be at this high. It's like now, like look what you're getting. Like look at the RR you're getting. Like, like bruh, you know. So, but you just get screwed if we were to possibly come up here, because this is the more bullish pair, so like it could easily come up here. But you could easily have your stop loss here as well. So, but this is the beginning stages of my funded account, so I'm not really trying to be too risk on in a sense. So yeah, you pretty much enter here, and then you would pretty much target minimum the 1 hour CRT low. But at that point, I was more bearish going into today, so I wanted to see a new low form. And looking at it, that's where we get the S&T to make us push higher. So that's pretty much the trade recap. I end up taking this on the evals as well. Yeah, pretty solid day. Activated 2 more fundeds. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the trade recap. Going into tomorrow. Okay, this is my thesis, right? If we end up taking this previous week low on Friday, we would end up taking out this low, right? But it just depends what type of, order flow we're experiencing, right? Because if we're bullish, you'd want price to close within here, and then the next week to open, come down here, and go higher, right? But it's kind of hard to predict what you would want to see, but at the same time, we ideally should be bearish. But at the same time, like I said, like it'd be more bullish if we swept this week or this low going into next week. So regardless, one thing throwing me off tomorrow is that we close within this daily range. We're still respecting this daily fair value gap. The only thing is that we don't really have, or I guess that we have a small SMT. Yeah, I don't know. Just gonna have to see what overnight brings us structure-wise. We don't really have. I mean, this is literally a market maker sell model. Like, let me show you a picture real quick. This is literally your market maker sell model, right? Original consolidation, right? Like, it's literally market maker sell model. Like, look at you see. So your original consolidation is pretty much this low. So that's why this low is very important, right? So ideally, I'm looking at it. Right now we need a bearish SMT going into tomorrow. So possibly we could take out this high, forming an SMT to push lower. But at the same time, let's look at the fair value gaps. Yeah. So what I'm pretty much looking for tomorrow is if we're still bearish, we're gonna have to wait. Like if we're bearish, you would want to see manipulation up before we go down. So pretty much points of interest. Honestly, this 4 hour fair value gap, because there's no way ES gets all the way up here. But if not, regardless, you definitely still form a structure within here, pushes lower. But pretty much what I'm looking for tomorrow. Today was Thursday. I've been undefeated this whole month on Thursdays. So pretty good. We have news tomorrow, so maybe I'll trade tomorrow. I have a test from 8 a.m. to 8:50, so I won't be on the charts till before 10. But I believe we have consumer sentiment. Yeah, so we have 7:30 news, which I usually get on a little early for the market on these days, but this should do good. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have going on tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a blessed rest of your guys' week. Stay safe during this weekend, and I won't be posting a market recap tomorrow. Actually, if I take a trade tomorrow, I'll post a trade recap. But I'll pretty much just have school, gym, work. So if I do take a trade, I'll post it right after for you guys, because at night I don't have time because I have work. But yeah, I'll update you guys, of course. If you guys aren't already, join the free Discord. Send my outlooks every morning. Send pretty much look what I'm looking for, right? Said I'd rather take this, right? Like I pretty much am showing you guys what I want to see. So yeah, live updates as well. So yeah, it's free. Why not join? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a good one, and peace.